Hi everyone, welcome to MindBlend. Ever wondered why people sometimes seem hesitant to approach you? You might be more intimidating than you realize. In today's video, we're going to explore 8 signs that you might be giving off an intimidating vibe. But remember, being intimidating isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can mean you're assertive, strong, and unafraid to stand your ground. So, are you ready to discover more about yourself? Before we dive into the signs, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. Sign number 1, you have strong convictions. In a world where opinions often blow with the wind, having firm beliefs is a trait that sets you apart. This isn't about being stubborn, it's about knowing your values and standing by them, even when they're not the popular choice. For instance, consider a scenario where everyone around you is cutting corners, but you choose to stick to your principles. Or imagine a situation where you could easily compromise your beliefs for momentary gain, but you decide otherwise. These instances illustrate the strength of your convictions. However, such unwavering adherence to your principles can sometimes be perceived as intimidating by others. They might feel a sense of discomfort or even fear, especially if they are not used to such firmness. So, if you're someone who firmly stands by your beliefs, you might be more intimidating than you think. Moving on to the second sign, you're straightforward. Being straightforward means you're direct, honest, and you say what's on your mind. You don't beat around the bush or sugarcoat things. You believe in transparency and you value truthfulness. But this trait, while commendable, can sometimes be intimidating to others. It's not that they necessarily dislike honesty, but they could feel overwhelmed or even threatened when confronted with such directness. They might not be used to dealing with people who are so open and candid. Perhaps they're more accustomed to a world where people hide their true thoughts and feelings, where they mask their intentions with polite, roundabout language. So when they encounter someone like you, someone who cuts straight to the chase, it can be a bit of a shock. It can make you seem formidable, even if that's not your intention. If you're always to the point and honest, you might be more intimidating than you realize. Sign number 3, you're quiet. It's a common misconception that those who are loud and boisterous are the most intimidating. But let me tell you, there's something uniquely powerful about quietness. Those who are quiet often give off an air of mystery, creating an enigmatic aura that can be quite intimidating to others. Being quiet can sometimes be misinterpreted. You see, when you're silent, people might assume that you're aloof or disinterested. They might think you're unapproachable because you're not joining in on the chatter. But the truth is, quietness often stems from a place of deep thought and introspection. You're not disinterested or aloof, you're simply absorbing, processing, and observing. You choose your words carefully, and when you do speak, your words carry weight. You value quality of conversation over quantity, and that's a strength, not a weakness. So if you're the quiet one in the room, you might be more intimidating than you think. Signs 4 and 5. You're self-confident and you're successful. Let's delve into these 2 signs that might make you more intimidating than you realize. The first of these is self-confidence. Now, self-confidence is a wonderful trait to possess. It's what pushes us to take chances, to stand up for ourselves, to believe in our own abilities. But here's the kicker. To some, this very self-confidence can come across as intimidating. Why, you ask? Well, self-confidence is often associated with power and authority. When you're self-assured, you exude a certain level of authority that can, at times, make others feel somewhat uneasy. It's not that you're doing anything wrong, it's just that your strong belief in yourself can make others question their own self-worth. So remember, while it's great to be self-confident, be mindful of how you project this confidence to those around you. Moving on to the 5th sign, being successful. Success is a relative term, and it looks different to everyone. But whether it's having a high-paying job, owning a successful business, or being recognized in your field, success can often be intimidating to those who are still striving to reach their own goals. When people see someone who's successful, it can stir up feelings of envy and inadequacy. They might begin to compare themselves to you, feel like they're falling short, or even start questioning their own path. This doesn't mean you should downplay your achievements. No, not at all. It's more about being aware of how your success might impact others and ensuring that it doesn't become a barrier in your relationships. Success and self-confidence are not inherently negative traits. On the contrary, they are qualities that should be celebrated. However, they can sometimes come across as intimidating to others. So the key here is balance, projecting your self-confidence and success in a way that inspires rather than intimidates. So if you're confident in yourself and your abilities, or if you've achieved a certain level of success, you might be more intimidating than you think. The last 3 signs, you're independent, you're assertive, and you rarely smile. Let's delve into these signs a bit deeper, shall we? Now, independence is a virtue, no doubt about it. But sometimes, being too independent can be perceived as not needing others. You're capable of making decisions on your own, you're self-reliant, and you're not afraid to walk your path alone. This can be quite intimidating to some, as they may feel that they don't have anything to contribute to your life, or that they can't match your level of self-sufficiency. Next, we come to assertiveness. Being assertive means you're not afraid to stand up for yourself, express your opinions, or defend your rights. You're clear about your wants and needs, and you're not afraid to voice them. However, this trait can sometimes be mistaken for aggression. People might find you overpowering or even threatening. This doesn't mean you should stop being assertive. Remember, it's about balance. You can be assertive while still being considerate of others' feelings and perspectives. And finally, the third sign, you rarely smile. A smile is often seen as a sign of friendliness, warmth, and approachability. So when you don't smile often, people might perceive you as cold, distant, or even unfriendly. But it's essential to remember that not smiling often doesn't necessarily mean you're unhappy or unfriendly. It could simply mean that you're focused, introspective, or just not inclined to smile without a reason. In summary, being independent shows your self-sufficiency, being assertive displays your clear communication, and not smiling often could be a sign of your focus or introspection. While these traits are commendable and beneficial in many ways, they can also make you seem intimidating to others. But remember, being true to yourself is the most important thing. If you're independent, assertive, and you don't smile a lot, you might be more intimidating than you realize. Well, those were the 8 signs that you might be more intimidating than you realize. Let's take a quick recap. First, we discussed how having strong convictions can sometimes make others feel a bit overwhelmed. Second, being straightforward and honest can sometimes be seen as intimidating, even though it's often just a sign of authenticity. Third, we talked about the silent power of being quiet, how it can often be misinterpreted as being standoffish or aloof. Then, we combined 2 signs, self-confidence and success. Remember, your accomplishments and self-assuredness can sometimes cause others to feel insecure or threatened. Finally, we wrapped up with the last 3 signs, being independent, assertive, and not smiling often. These characteristics can sometimes be seen as intimidating, but remember, they also reflect strength and self-reliance. The key takeaway is this: being intimidating is not always a bad thing. It's often a manifestation of your strengths and unique qualities. However, it's important to be aware of how your actions and demeanor can be perceived by others. Remember, understanding ourselves better is the first step towards better interactions and relationships. So let's keep exploring, keep learning, and keep growing. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching MindBlend. Goodbye.